There are so many great all-terrain tires in the off-road and overlanding community, but what is it about these two particular tires that seem to make them more popular than the rest? Well, in today's video, we're going to break down the differences between the Falken Wildpeak AT3W and the Toyo Open Country AT3. Now, first of all, guys, let's begin with who exactly would these tires be for? Both of these tires are available in LT sizes, passenger rated sizes, and even flotation sizes. Both of them are 3-Peak Mountain Snowflake rated, so both of them are certified for severe winter driving conditions. Both of them use silica reinforced compound to help with chip and cut resistance, plus add a little extra life onto the treadwear. And both of them do have pretty respectable treadwear warranties against manufacturer defects. For example, the Open Country from Toyo, it has a 65,000 tread mile warranty for passenger and Euro sizes. And then on the LT and flotation sizes, it's up to 50,000. And then on the Falken Wildpeak AT3, now these have a 50,000 mile treadwear warranty on all of their sizes. So there's a little bit of give and take there. You can get 50,000 LT and flotation on the Open Country, whereas Wildpeak is 55. However, if you're getting passenger or Euro sizes, Toyo has up to 65,000 mile treadwear warranty, which is absolutely incredible. It's probably one of the best treadwear warranties out there, but that's for Euro and passenger sizes. The Wildpeak, 55,000 regardless. And since we're talking about the different designated sizes between Euro, passenger, LT, and flotation, the Toyo Open Country actually has 133 different sizes between that fit 15-inch wheels up to 22-inch wheels. Wildpeak, the Falken Wildpeak on the other hand, still fitting wheels 15-inch up to 22-inch wheel sizes, but only available in 75 different sizes. So there may be a lot more rare or maybe less purchased type of sizes that you can get available with the Toyo Open Country AT, whereas that might not be available for the Wildpeak. And guys, even before we get into the performance aspects between these two moguls, I did find after searching on our website, comparing similar size Falken Wildpeaks to similar size Toyo Open Country AT3s, that the Wildpeaks, the Falken Wildpeaks did on average come in just a little bit less than the Toyo Open Countries. So that may be a determining factor right there on which one you would decide to go with. Save a little money on the Wildpeak and get just the same performance? Well, I'm not sure about that yet, but you'll be saving some money regardless. So getting into some of the performance differences between the two, now tire companies in general will not tell you, will not disclose exactly what their proprietary blend of compound is, but like I'd mentioned earlier, and most tires have a silica reinforced compound. It just helps the tread life last longer, helps the rubber from wearing down as fast, and it's more of a like a synthetic sort of blend that you can get in the rubber that also helps with chip and cut resistance. So therefore, we don't know exactly what the blends of compound differences are. But what we do know is what we can visually see. Obviously, the Falken Wildpeak has a similar but different design than what the Toyo Open Country has, obviously. So one thing that we know Falken has from not only what they state on their website and the specifications that you can find on our website on TrailBuilt is that their tread depth is going to be slightly deeper than what the Open Country is. So if you're looking for that extra mud or extra snow evacuation out of there, extra water evacuation out of the tread voids, the Falken Wildpeak is going to have a little bit more of an advantage there. So maybe if you're doing a little bit more aggressive off-roading, mud, snow, you're getting into some of that deep stuff, you're in the northern hemisphere, the Wildpeak is going to give you a little bit extra advantage there. Is it going to be noticeable? I don't know. You're only talking about 2/32 of an inch on average, which is about the depth of the wear bars. So if you look at how tall the wear bars are in these tread valleys in between the treads, you can see that those are about 2/32 down to the tread base layer. What I do also see with the tread design on both of these tires is a very similar hybrid tread design looking pattern. You can see we have a little bit bigger, bulkier shoulder lugs on both of these tires here. Inner treads, or the center treads, are a little bit closer grouped together, which is going to give you a great blend of performance for on-road traction and off-road traction. You can see these lateral voids here on both tires are pretty wide and they're spaced pretty decently apart. So you're going to get that extra evacuation for the loose stuff in these lateral voids here and here. So then looking at that hybrid sort of tread design with these all-terrains, having that closely grouped together center tread pattern on both tires is really going to help reduce that road noise. It's going to help with grip when you're accelerating, when you're braking, or even if you have to make an evasive maneuver. Along with both of these, the shoulder lugs, one thing that you will notice with all terrains with larger shoulder lugs, whether it's classified a hybrid or not, is that after a while they will start to cup on you if you're not rotating them at the scheduled 5,000 miles, or if you're running a pickup truck carrying heavy loads, you might have to rotate them more often. If you're abusing these tires, you might have to rotate them more often because you will start to see some of that cupping. And then when looking at the actual tread blocks themselves, now one thing I do personally like about the Falken Wildpeaks is the center tread blocks do have more sharp edges, more squared off edges. And why I say I like that is because I can see that helping grip and really bite when the tire's under a lot of pressure, whether it's in the rocks or you're off-road on some trail, going through the mud. But I can see these tread blocks having a little bit extra bite on them compared to the Toyo Open Countries. The Toyo Open Countries, these tread blocks have a step down edge on them, which is only maybe 1 millimeter in height on them, and then they step down. So what's going to happen is that that top layer is going to wear off pretty quickly, probably after just a couple of few thousand miles maybe, I'm speculating, depending on your driving habits. That makes me question why. What is the purpose of having that little extra additional layer on there almost that is going to wear off pretty quickly anyways? But I do like the fact that the Falken, the tread blocks, do have a little bit more biting edge as to what it appears to me anyways, compared to the Open Country AT3. So the AT3 to me looks like it would be great blend of on-road and off-road traction, maybe 50-50, whereas the Falken Wildpeak might have a little bit more advantage there for off-roading, especially once you start getting into some of those more aggressive obstacles, getting into the rocks or mud, or if you're going through deep snow. These are really going to help bite and grip and grab the terrain below. Now moving into the shoulder lugs, obviously staggered lugs, that's pretty typical, pretty common. You see that on almost every tire, and staggered lugs just means that your shoulder lugs are going to be varying in sizes, and they're also going to have scoop style shaped outer edges to them. So when you are in the mud or in the dirt or rocks or anything like that, you kind of have that extra biting power, that extra scooping power to get rid of some of that loose stuff. I do notice that the Wildpeak is more aggressive when it comes to the outer edge of the shoulder block here. There's more step downs on the Falken Wildpeaks. However, the scooping blocks aren't as aggressive. So even though you have a little bit more aggressive step down block here, they're not as alternating as what the Toyo Open Country is. But the Toyo Open Country doesn't have very much scooping to it, even though these outer edges are scalloped and they do alternate in cuts. So they have, every other one is basically your scoop, but they're not very deep. So they do help, but it's not going to be as aggressive as, well, some of the other tires out there. The Falken Wildpeak does have a little bit more aggressive side biters or sidewall tread to them, which is nice to have, not only for additional traction whenever you're in ruts or mud or snow or any of that loose stuff, but it also helps add extra protection against sidewall cuts or sidewall punctures, because there is a little bit extra rubber on the sidewall going all the way around. So little advantage there over the Toyo Open Countries. I mean, obviously they have a little bit of side biters here, a little bit of sidewall tread, but they almost look more aesthetic than they do functional. So not a big fan of the Toyo Open Country sidewall tread. And then as far as the sidewall thickness on both of these tires, now obviously if you're hauling a lot of weight, it's going to make more of a difference to be in that D-load range category, E-load, F-load range category to really get that thicker sidewall, which is going to allow you to hold more air in the tire, even up to 80 psi, which is exactly what, along with the construction of the tire, is going to help you carry that much extra load without having the tire blow out. So all of these specs, all of the load ratings, the weights of the different tires, which the few that I went through and compared, I did notice that the Falcon was just a little bit lighter of weight from the tires that I compared that were same load rating, same size. So, but it was literally less than a half a pound of difference. So pretty comparable there as far as weight when comparing the exact same size and load range rating. And guys, if you're really not going to be hauling a whole bunch of weight, then you can look into that flotation sizes or even LT sizes with a load rating of B or C, which does allow the sidewall, because it is going to be just a little bit thinner, it does allow it to flex just a little bit better when you're off-road, to really increase that footprint of the tire for extra traction. So again, if you're hauling a lot of weight, D, E, F load ratings, and again, all of those specs, all of the different sizes that are available, all of those different things, even the tread depth can be found right on our website on TrailBuilt Off-Road, and then they're listed, all those specifications are listed under each individual tire after you click on it. And I think personally, if I only could pick between these two tires, I think my choice would be the Falcon Wildpeak AT3W. I think because the deeper tread depth, I do like that extra capability of evacuating some of that crap out there that's out on the trails, or snow or water. I do like the more rigid, squared off center tread blocks compared to the Toyo Open Country. And I also do like this more aggressive sidewall tread on here. Definitely helps make a difference in traction, especially while you're aired down, not to mention the extra protection that you get from trail hazards like sharp rocks or even roots sticking out on the side of the trail. So I do like that as well. I'm not going to run a P-rated tire or Eurometric tire, so I do like the fact that I get an extra 5,000 miles of treadwear warranty against manufacturer's defects with the Falcon Wildpeak as well in those LT and flotation sizes. So and I also like saving a little bit of money. So those are the reasons why I personally would pick the Falcon Wildpeak over the Toyo Open Country AT3. But guys, what I'd really like to hear back from you guys is anybody that is running the Open Country AT3 or the Falcon Wildpeak AT3Ws, I'd really like to hear what you guys think of them. How's the road noise? How's the traction? How's the wet traction? Ice, snow traction? I'd like to know what your feedback is on each of these tires if you're already running them. I'd also like to know if you have worn down AT3s or AT3Ws, how far down the siping actually goes. I'd be curious to find that out as well. And guys, please make sure and let us know what type of vehicle you're running it on. If you're doing a lot of heavy loads, or if you're running it on maybe an Overlander type, 4Runner, Tacoma, Jeep Wrangler, or something like that. Just let us know what type of vehicle it is as well. And then any other additional information that you guys can provide to us just helps us decide in that real world scenario on which tire we would rather go with. So definitely make sure and let us know as much information as possible, and that would be greatly appreciated. All right, guys, that is all that we have for you today in comparing the different features and specs of these two monsters in the overland and off-roading community. Don't forget to let us know how you guys like these tires if you're running them now. And guys, as always, we appreciate all of you for watching and all of your support. I'm Josh from TrailBuilt, and we'll see you guys out on the trails.